Got it. Okay. What's up? What's up, you guys?
All right, well, I'll start. I'll jump in.
Good.
Pretty exciting. We went to our fall advance Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Naomi and I did. And we were meeting with Leah Laughlin, Pam Shaw, and Julia Burnett. And wow, what a powerful, powerful event. You know, some of the takeaways were just don't quit. Just don't quit. I've done that quite well, my 22 years. I didn't quit. And so a lot of takeaways, a lot of what I would call like God winks, you know, having Leah Laughlin play a video clip that's one of my favorite video clips from Facing the Giants. I haven't seen it in years, and I was like, oh yeah, that. So it was fabulous. I also got a phone call from Mary Kay Corporate when I was at Fall Advance that they're allowing me to stay on target for my equinox one more quarter, even though we didn't quite make the cut. They said your hard work was evidence, so we're allowing you an exception. And so
that.
we're working to stay in our equinox instead of going down to the Grand Achievers. So that was awesome news. And I also want to let everybody, I'm going to brag on Naomi, and then I'll brag on myself. Naomi was #1 director in sales at our entire fall advance.
Wow.
And I know she won't,
Great.
I know she won't say it, so I'm going to say it for her. And then I was #7.
Yay. Yay.
So,
that's
so
great.
Yay. Yeah, so a lot of really cool things happening. And I'm excited. So
did you see Curtis Hanna there?
I said hi.
Oh, good. Because he's my guy, and you know he keeps me on track with all this stuff.
He's everybody's guy, I think.
Yeah. But I worked with.
He's great.
Close to 20 years. You know, a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great, Pat. Awesome.
So yeah, it really is great, because if I were doing these myself and something happened, I would just cry. I couldn't get the Zoom call.
Right.
You know, I just so, you know, yeah, he's my support team.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Bethany, congratulations, and you look lovely, and you'll have a great facial, and there's your new recruit coming right up. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking. She doesn't know she needs Mary Kay yet, but she does. She needs to sign up.
We'll put the loving vibes on her. Okay, good.
Yes,
good.
Perfect.
Okay, who else? Check in. Tell me what's up.
I'll go.
Yeah. Tell me.
I honestly feel like I always have so much. Well, so we got everybody, all my parents moved in on Tuesday morning. My mom
Great.
called and she said, I'm vilely sick and I don't know what's wrong with me. And my dad got on the phone and said, I'm taking her right now. Can you meet us? So we got her to an ER, and she ended up having a strangulated hernia.
Ooh.
And they transported her to another hospital because they could not handle it. So she was transported on Tuesday. So that was all day Tuesday. Then this is Thursday. So yesterday, we got up there about 5 in the morning, and they called in a special surgeon because of her age and because the gap that she blew out was like 4 inches, which is unusually long.
Wow. Was that
And
for
it had
things up in the move or doing stuff?
You know, they don't think so. They think that there was probably scar tissue from another surgery, and it just happened to be along with this. But what we were concerned about is her intestine had been pinched off. So typically that means that area dies, but it didn't. So we're thrilled about that. I just barely walked back in the house. I picked her up this morning from the hospital and took her back home and ran to do this, and then I'll go back over and check on her. But the whole way through it, what I kept thinking was, when you know that it's a and not a but, It makes a difference in how you facilitate through everything, even trauma situations. And my dad, who normally runs everything, fell apart on me and just handed everything to me and said, you are going to have to make the decisions. I can't lose your mom, and I can't do this. So one of the things that I had taken notes on from last week, which was huge and helped me through all this, is, you know, when we were talking about what we say to people when we're closing them.
Mhm.
And the difference that I wrote down is, when we say the word but, at that moment, the minute we say, yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying, but, you know, you can sign for $20 or whatever, that immediately moves into convincing, and it's based on our opinion. So we are, the minute the word but comes out, our opinion is inserted and a convincing strategy starts. However, when you said your statement to us, the word was and. And what I wrote down is, when the word and is used, then instead of convincing, it's curiosity.
Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. I might have to use that one, Amy. I'll give you credit.
And curiosity then puts the focus back where it should be, which is on them.
That's right.
So
That's right.
that was a brilliant segue that I don't think I've ever caught before. I'm sure it's been said in other ways, but you were so direct about it that it hit me.
I've been direct. I heard that.
It really hit me hard, because just two simple words, we can either say but, or we can say and the responsiveness back to us is completely different, because one is convincing and one is curiosity. And I did that with for the last 2 days. I kept wanting to say, okay, but my mom doesn't do well with anesthesia, so I'm freaked out and I need to talk to someone, and you better call in a chief anesthesia. And instead, I caught myself and I said, okay, and one thing I'm curious about, because of her situation with dying on the table a couple times through anesthesia, is what would be some information that you could give me that would help us facilitate through this decision. The minute I said and, the chief anesthesiologist was open, and he was informative, and he was kind. And I thought that right there is a living example of the difference between, okay, but and the little tiny word and.
You know what?
His shoulders,
Because it didn't put him on the defense.
that's it. Exactly. And I can't tell you how many times I am in a situation where, you know, it's a strategic decision and it's super important. And my go-to is, okay, but my mom, blah, 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 blah. And I wanted to say that so bad, and forced myself to say, and I'm curious about, and I know it was a completely different result. Our communication with the anesthesiologist and the surgeon was completely different than it would have been if I had relied on what I wanted to do. So thank you for that huge lesson.
Wow. Wow. Nobody could have said it better, Amy. Really. Nobody could have said it better. The other thing that I say about but is that it cancels out everything you've said before. Okay. As soon as you heard it, you basically, you know, I love you, but, you know, you don't pick up your underwear, and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a cancellation, like you said, and people don't like to feel like you're canceling them. You know, they want to feel like you're embracing them. You know, I love you and I need some help here. I need you to, if you would, chip in and do this, and that, or whatever, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's powerful. Like to me, it is life-changing, because you don't have to then step back and swallow words and try to restate it in another way, because it's received right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah. And when you're trying to get someone on your team, you know, the curiosity, and I want to know more about you. I want to know what would really help you, and your family. Tell me more about that. It's a therapist deal, keep talking, tell me more. And it is also a very effective embracer, if you will.
I
It
love
embrace.
that.
So you either cancel them or you embrace them. Yeah. Well, I'm so glad it worked for you.
Yes, it did. It got me through 2 days of extreme stress.
Yeah. And she's okay now?
She is. She's really, really sore because they had to put quite a bit of mesh in there to go
Yeah.
over that huge area, but she's up and she's walking and she's smiling and my
Yay.
mom is super positive about everything. So she's doing very, very well. So it'll just be a little bit of a healing process, but
Sure.
it's all
And
good.
you're here.
Yes, right. That's it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, being here. Okay. Well, great. Thank you for that testimonial. Wow. I was touched by that. Wow. Okay, guys. Who else? Let's hear. Don't make me pull it out of you. Come on. I'm
Well,
coming.
I'll talk. Amy, I've had 4 C-sections and I've had scar tissue removed twice now because of the surgeries, I guess. And the last time the mesh seemed to help. So when all the commercials came on about the mesh causing problems, I was like, no. But and so has my daughter, Lauren. She is now having she's having some symptoms and feelings of like it constricting some other areas now again. So she may have to have more surgery to have some stuff removed. But every time they go in to remove it, they're causing more scar tissue. So it's kind of a catch-22. So that's no joke. It really did hurt a lot. Mine was around my female organs and then starting to go into like my rectum. So anyways, enough about that. But yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah.
So thankfully the mesh has worked. But so I mean, have we been on?
Boy, you don't look like you're suffering at all. You look pretty perky to me.
Thank you. Do you like my fancy scarf over my sweatshirt? Because it's cold here. It's got to be what?
It's 70.
You guys are gonna, laugh. You guys are gonna laugh because we're like, oh my God, it's 60. Where's my scarf?
I went on a run this morning with my dog, and he wanted to go back home. So anyway, it was
All
cool.
right.
Have you been on? Oh, go ahead.
How's your business? What's happening there?
Oh, thanks. So you know what? It is so good.
Hey.
Thank you. It is doing really well. But have we been on since we've been back from our retreat? Amanda, I can't remember.
We have been, but I don't know that you have been.
Okay. So that retreat was so good. It was so I got to go see Denver, Cheyenne, Wyoming, and then we drove to Nebraska. And so I'd never been to Nebraska that I know of. And it was really beautiful. I had just a sweet time. I learned so much, but one of the things that I took away from that was the feeling of family. It was just a really sweet, it was just a sweet family time of Deb's national area and her senior, Dave and Mao. And it was like their 20th and their 15th anniversary of being nationals. And so it was so sweet. And I just walked away feeling just filled with love. That's pretty much how, and I just couldn't really put it into words.
You're doing very well.
To my unit, I was like, you guys, but something I said sparked some interest, and there is a retreat in Los Angeles that's happening. And I have 3, maybe 4 people going to that. And all I did was just like, you guys, I don't even know how to put this into words. I just am so filled up with my pink sisters and love, and just I couldn't even, like, I just couldn't put it into words. And now 4 people are going. So I got a quick trip to Texas on November 1st to do Mary Kay and to see some friends, and then Oklahoma to see mom and daddy and to do Mary Kay. And I will only be there in Oklahoma 4 days because I got to fly home. I got to have one night in between to go to this retreat in Los Angeles. So, so I got a lot. Yeah, busy. That's what I wrote in my diary this morning. Busy. That is all good, right? What if we had nothing to do?
Well, I mean,
that's worse in my world than too much.
Yeah.
I gotta have my little heart showing.
Here's the truth. We're selling energy. You're not really selling cosmetics. Okay. It's like Howard Schultz, who is the CEO of Starbucks, was interviewed. And a guy said, well, how's the coffee business? He goes, I'm not in the coffee business. I'm in the relationship business. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So you're selling energy, and you come back filled with this beautiful energy, and you share it with them in any way that you can. And everybody wants a part of it.
Yeah.
Everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you meet people in that energy, you're so attractive. You're attractive anyway, but I'm just saying there is a pull towards you versus when you meet them in fear,
right? Which
a lot of people do. They've already decided this person isn't interested. This person won't say yes. And so, but I'm going to make myself. As soon as people tell me they're going to make themselves, I say, oh, please don't. Please don't. Because it won't work.
Right.
It's not authentic. And B, it's not engaging.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, when Mary Kay that said, we sell more from not what we know, but just our enthusiasm, right? Enthusiasm sells. And so you're really right that we are selling energy. Pink energy.
Pink energy. Woohoo! Nuclear. All right. Good, Joy. Glad to hear it. All right. Mackenzie, got your pretty smile on. Tell us about you.
Hello. Okay. So this past week, I have had the thought from one of our nationals, Diana Polanco. She was at our fall advance. And one of the things that she said that has come, like, I just keep thinking about it on and off, was that the leader has to be strong, not the team. Because, we can't always count on our people to be super strong all the time, but we have to. And then she followed that with enthusiasm is more contagious than COVID, which I love because it goes with what we're talking about. But she said a lot of times as leaders, it's not that we have the best training in place. It's not that we have the best systems. It's that we're the most clear about where we're going. And we have enthusiasm about that. And that draws leaders to rise with us. And I keep reminding myself of that because I told Amy like the other day, I was like, well, I've lost my touch. I've expired. I did because I did a welcome appointment and I had my girl that's wanting to go into DIQ next month or in December. She was on because it was her team member. And so she was getting on with the intention of learning how to do welcome appointments so passing on the skill. So I wasn't just welcoming somebody to my unit like I've done a million times. It was welcoming somebody, but also like in a way that is duplicatable so that she can repeat the process. And I put way too much pressure on myself and I probably botched the welcome appointment. But when I got off of there, I had the thought of like, why am I overthinking this so much? Like, I don't do the same welcome appointment every single time. Like it's kind of close, but it's relationships. So right. What one person needs onboarded with, the next person doesn't necessarily need that. And so then I was talking to one of my friends and she was like, honestly, when somebody is in pre-DIQ is what we're calling it now. Like they're not there yet, but we're training them to go into DIQ. She was like, when they're in pre-DIQ, they kind of know most of the skills, but what they might not have is the belief in leadership that they're capable of figuring it out and having their own stamp of like, this is mine, this is how I do it. And so
Yeah.
then I was like, that makes like, I took a deep breath and I relaxed and I was like, okay, like I have a clear vision of where I'm going. As long as she's clear about where she's going, people will respond in the way that's appropriate and they'll get excited. And then I also realized that the girl we did the welcome appointment with, she wasn't like, you know what, we talk about being hungry. She's not like starving for a change, you know. She was like, this is kind of fun, like appetizer level. It's kind of where she was. And so of course she's not going to be like her about everything and like so hungry. And so then I was like, oh, okay, that's why that wasn't as fun as some of my other welcome appointments, because I'm comparing like this person that was really hungry in the past to, and it has nothing to do with the process. It's usually the person. So that's been my week.
Yeah, well, good for you. And you know what you're saying, which I love, is I had it a minute ago and I just lost. Well, what you're saying is a couple things. Number one, you're saying don't overthink it. You know what you know. It's already in there. It's already embedded in your cells, your brain cells. Look at the person, and in performance, they say read your audience. Read the crowd, read her, intuit, if she's shy and quiet, don't overwhelm her with your enthusiasm, okay? In neuro-linguistic programming, it's called mirroring and matching. Okay, so what that basically, well, you know already, right? Okay, so you mirror somebody, if you're going like this, and then we're doing that in sync, then I might go, well, in Mackenzie, I might amp it up a little bit. And then if you follow me, we're mirroring and matching. And that is a clue non-verbally that we're together and that you can proceed. If she starts to go like this, pulls back, looks around, looks down, ask her a question. Tell me, I'm curious, tell me more about your background, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Did you
Just
say
get-
mirroring and matching?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Mirroring and matching. Like you guys all know this, whether you've been trained or not. Have you ever been at a restaurant and you see a couple who is clearly in love? Clearly. They're just leaning in and they're sipping wine and they maybe kiss, whatever. But it's just, you read it. You just know it. You get it. Then you see another couple, and I hate this. I see this all the time. They're both sitting there on their phones. They're not talking. They're not looking at each other. There's no interaction, okay? Though, I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to break up or anything, but they at that point are mismatched, okay? The couple who is moving in synchrony, I move, they move, are matched, and they're mirroring each other, and it's unconscious. Okay, it's not like they've thought, okay, I'm going to mirror her, so that'll make her like me more. No, it's what happens, And through the studying of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, you can learn how to use this in terms of being with people. Mm-hmm. Now, when I was younger and stupider, I used to, when I tried to sell somebody, I would go into, this was a lot of times men and their offices, and I would go in and I would be Minnie Mouse, and the more they pulled back, the more I pursued, okay? Completely mismatched. And I had one guy one time say, you're just way too enthusiastic for me. And he was basically saying, you're overplaying the deal, So not that you would do that, Mackenzie, I don't think it's in you, but it's just something to understand that if you want them to be with you, you be with them on a nonverbal basis first. And it's really easy. Just start watching them, And if they lean in, you lean in. Okay, that's a sign that they're engaged and they may want to buy or sign up. They lean back and cross their elbows across their arms across their chest. You lean back. Maybe you don't cross your arms, but you put your, you mirror them. And then if you get enough mirroring in, you can lead them, meaning that you've established a rapport on the nonverbal level. And now you can maybe start a little bit of leaning in and see what she does. It's fun. You guys just pay attention to it for a couple days. You know, when you're with somebody, you know, try it a little bit. It's really fun.
I love that because my pre-DIQ is what I'll refer to her as. She asked me that question. She was, because we talked on the phone, we like did the welcome appointment. Then a couple days later, we got on a phone call with her girl just to follow up and go over questions. And when her new girl got on the phone, she came with more energy. Like there was more warmth to her voice. She was speaking more. She wasn't as reserved. And so when we got off the phone with her, I stayed on the phone with my consultant. I was like, did you notice that she was warmer with us? That there was a trust that was being built, that she was more open? Did you catch on to that? And she was like, yeah, that was cool. It's like, that's what you have to pay attention to with your new people. If she had shut down, then that means that what you're saying, she's not grabbing. Like there's a disconnection there. But her question to me was, well, what happens when you do that? Like, how do you, like, I can't just be like, wow, you seem like there's something going on. You want to talk about it? She's very direct. And I was like, no, but you know, you do lead with questions. You start figuring her out more. You have to give her more of a platform. But to actually have like an LP, like there's actually a science behind it. She'll eat that up. So I'm going to tell her about it.
Yeah, you
So
can
thank
Google
you.
it. I've been trained in it a long time ago.
Yeah.
So,
Love it.
yeah. Good for you, McKinsey. Yay. Okay, who's next? Amanda, you're looking. Love your hair, Amanda. So cute. Hi.
Amanda, you're looking. That's how I'm feeling. Amanda, you're looking.
You're looking good. I didn't
Okay.
finish my sentence. Yeah, looking good.
Well, what I have been thinking about what I was going to bring to this call because it's so funny. The people who really, really know me, I don't even have to like, I don't post anything or say anything. People just know. They're like, hey, are you okay? So I've been kind of in a roller coaster of places in the last week. We've just dealt with a lot. There's a lot going on, many pieces with the foster kiddo, as far as like mom and dad are now fighting for custody, or is dad going to be able to, because he may go to, anyway, there's a whole lot of stuff going on there. And then they are now back in the picture in spending time with him. And that throws things off because as much as I'm trying to pretend like everything's okay, it's hard for me to see him go spend time with his mom, right?
Yeah.
Mom. But I'm not his mom. And so that's a hard thing. It's a really hard thing to share him. So there's that component going on, and just rushing to try to get some things done so that we can travel with him come November. And it hit me. I'm now in my 3rd trimester. I guess I have just been pregnant and doing life and enjoying pregnancy, but trying to enjoy pregnancy. If I'm being honest, people keep asking me, well, how's it going? How's the pregnancy? Everything great? Yes, actually, I'm having a healthier pregnancy than I did with the first one, only because the way that Lily was situated with the placenta, she was in a funky position. Nothing was wrong. It all worked itself out and it was a healthy pregnancy. But this one has had no problems, but I feel pregnant. And I think I'm 43 and I feel pregnant. And so I just have not been like, I guess I keep beating myself up because I feel like I should be doing more. I should have more energy. Like I'm not giving myself enough. And I haven't allowed myself to be emotional until recently. And like, you know, when they say pregnancy hormones, I haven't experienced anything hormonal until now. And now everything makes me hormonal. So, and I mean, like, I'm like off the deep end on things. It should not matter. But just been processing a lot of different things. And then thank you, Mackenzie, for saying the team isn't strong, the leader is, because I've had a strong team since I've had a team doing the work, though I have kind of stepped back a little bit to be present with the pregnancy, to be present with family whom I hadn't seen in 3 years. And my team was performing. Well, when you step back as the leader, so do they. And so now I'm dealing with, it's double credit month and no one wants to play. And it's like, it's really, I'm just like, ding, 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 ding. So Saturday, I sat in my soup a little bit. I had a really fun conversation with God, meaning I was not nice to him. And he said, I love you. I'm going to download in you what I want you to hear, despite your cursing me. And I got 2 messages, one Sunday at church and one Monday, both about partnership and what we do as a partnership. And that if they don't show up to partner, then you go find another partner. And I think the hardest part has been that they have been doing it without me. And then when I step back in and they aren't doing it, I'm like, where'd you go? So kind of dealing with a little bit of that. I always hear people say, but my team's not doing anything, and it makes me shriek. I'm not trying to be that person, but I am wondering, like, don't, where did you all go? I have made some changes, so I have to understand that, like, I made changes in the time that we meet, so that's going to affect, I'm still having people show up, but I mean, I got really emotional on my Monday call with them. And when I say I got emotional, I just said, look, y'all, you're settling, and it's not who you are. You're not settlers. It's not who you are. You are champions. You are victors, not victims. And I get things are going on this month, but do you really want to succumb to your circumstances, or do you want to step into it? So the second sermon that was downloaded on me was, again, Elevation Church, because you know me and Pastor Furtick, downloaded in me about labels limit. So if you guys didn't catch Sunday, go back and catch Sunday. It was really good. And he talked about how we put labels on us and that limits us. And of course, everything Pat Pearson came coming back up with, right? With self-sabotage and how we get in our own way. And so I was able to marry it all together. But I mean, I started looking at my own labels, and I started looking at, like, well, of course you're not recruiting anybody this month, Amanda. You're sitting in the label that nothing's happened. Like, you put these labels. So I've been in this like emotional roller coaster on all fronts.
Yeah.
It's been,
it's fascinating to hear this, because on one side, the foster son going back and forth between his mom and you, and your team going back and forth between producing and you. And so there's this kind of mirroring image there that I'm picking up on. What I hear, Amanda, right now, okay, is I hear you breathless.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's stay there. You're pregnant.
Yeah.
What does a pregnant woman need?
Well, I have to tell you, I have felt super guilty this entire pregnancy because I rest a lot. I nap a lot and I rest a lot. And I think it didn't really hit me. Like I said, third trimester hit me when I went to my appointment Tuesday. It was a long appointment. My appointment getting there and back is 3 hours because it's an hour and a half each way. And then it was the glucose where you got to sit for hours before you get anyway, it was a long, long day. And the last thing he says is, well, your third trimester, here's labor and delivery number. You're going to need it because second one comes fast. And I'm going, ah! It was the last thing I needed to hear because we live so far away in the snow. Well, it's not snowing yet, but it will be in January. And it just was like everything kind of hit me that I haven't really dealt with. And I don't know. So the breathlessness, going back to that, Pat, is like, I feel like all of a sudden I'm trying to make up for all the time I rested. I feel like I'm running at the end of this pregnancy to make up for not running the beginning of the pregnancy.
It doesn't work that way. Okay,
Oh.
so number one, push your feet into the floor and exhale. Come on, do it with me. Take a little breath and then come down. Okay, now let's have a mantra for you that you can use as you breathe. Okay, you can do this every hour on the hour for 2 seconds. I mean, 20 seconds or 30 seconds. You just inhale and exhale and push into your feet. It's a grounding exercise. It brings the energy down. It reduces the anxiety. Do you feel a little bit less spinny, Amanda?
I had coffee today, so I'm a little spinny, and I'm not supposed to drink coffee ever. So, so I think part of what you're getting from me, like Joy knows I don't drink coffee because caffeine and I don't do well, but I had a latte. So I'm a little bit wired.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting from me right now, is this is why I don't drink coffee. But a lot of it, the reason why I had the coffee is I was feeling tired and tapped out, and I was like, I just need something.
Okay, let's scratch the guilt. Under guilt is resentment.
Right.
What are you resenting?
Say that again.
What are you resenting?
Okay, you ready for this? Are you ready?
I've heard worse, I'm sure.
You guys are like, that's like, I'm about to cry because this is it. This is, here it comes.
Okay,
I'm presenting my business right now.
fair enough.
And Mary Kate is my heart and I love it, but I wish I could just be mom right now.
Okay, I got it. I hear you. Yeah. And even if you're not pregnant, even, in the best of times, you can resent the business. You can resent the demands of your people. You can resent the time commitment. You can resent all kinds of things and love it at the same time. They are not mutually exclusive. Okay. Exhale. Come on. Push it out. Yeah. Okay. So how much protesting are you doing?
Like protesting my business?
Yeah.
Well,
Like, I don't want you. Go away. Shut up. Quit making me feel guilty.
I mean, yeah, I think, okay, so what I'm resentful towards right now is that I have this great opportunity with double credit month to catch up, and I am pushing, I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm not pushing to book. I'm not pushing to sell. I sure as heck am not pushing to recruit. And here's the thing is I feel like I am trying to recruit. But the minute I hear the BS, pardon my language, excuses, I'm like, come on, people. I don't have, I think I'm emotional maybe, but I just don't have it in me to be, there's nothing irritates me more than like, here's a deal. Here's the deal. You can start this business at a discount. You don't even actually have to start this month. You can start next month if you're not ready. Okay. And like literally, you could take a couple weeks to roll into it. You don't have to do anything today. Just take advantage of the deal I'm giving you. And the response is, oh, my plate is so full. I don't know. And I just want to like squeeze the heck out of people because I'm like, I'm giving you a discount and I'm giving you an opportunity. And instead of going, okay. And I listening to Amy's words last week where I was like, being understanding of where they're at and making their decision, I'm sitting there going, I understand. And I just want to make sure you understand. And I am using the words, I understand. And I just want to make sure you're aware of the opportunity that's in front of you, because I would feel so bad if next month you felt guilty because you let that go. And I've been really good about following through with that. but then it literally sucks all the energy out of me, and I don't want to do the next share because I'm like, if they say no.
Okay, so then you intervene right after that, okay? You get some of those, right? Then you find a quiet space and you don't even have to vocalize it if you don't want to. You just shake your fist and go, ah! Get it out of you. It is tumbling around in you. You are at this moment, we all love you. You are a washing machine of all this stuff. Okay. Yeah. Spin cycle. We got to get you down. We got to get you centered. And it's okay to resent your business. I quit my business for 10 years. I said, I've had it with you guys. Not you. I mean, but just I had it with the travel, the demands, the blah, 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 blah. And I retired. I quit. Then I came back and went, hi, anybody remember? And luckily some people did. So, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to resent it. It's okay to resent people who don't get it. Some people are just flat stupid.
And I don't mean to say that, but said, okay, so then here's the deal, Pat. Like here's where I know I'm not completely washed out and I'm not back in old habits, is that I just went to I just had an interview right before this, a coffee chat, which is why I have coffee in me. And it was 100% connection and awesome and everything that I love this business for. I love to recruit. That's the part I love. I love to recruit. And so when I was sitting there and I was in my element and I was able to like just enjoy her space, even though she said I'm okay, I'm still gonna think about it for a little bit. It didn't make me feel afterwards like I just gave you everything and you said no, or you're still thinking. Like I felt like, okay, but I planted a seed. She heard me and we heard each other. And that, I think that's the thing right now is I'm feeling very not heard. That's what it is. I'm not feeling heard.
Okay, well, I want to tell you that I hear you at this moment. I hear you clearly. And I want to suggest that you don't give so much. Okay? And once again, it's an energy exchange. Mm-hmm. This woman you were with was at least giving you something back, and it fed you and it made you feel good. And you left even without a yes, you left okay. So I want you, here's the thing, Amanda, you're going to be increasingly pregnant. And what that means is increasingly hormonal. And everybody who's a woman understands that. And you can even say to them, I'm just getting, really this hormonal rush and ask them about their children. Do you have it? Bond on that level. Let her come to you. You might be just overgiving. And that this is the result of being exhausted, trying to convince them, trying to go out there, trying to make everything happen. The foster kid, the home, the pregnancy, So stop. Give less. Invite them to give to you. What's anybody have to say about that? Let's get some feedback in here from Amanda. Yeah? Go on.
So, and I said in the comments, you probably maybe don't feel very appreciated. Where are you, Amanda? There you are. So maybe you don't feel very appreciated. I mean, you are like giving of yourself right now when you really maybe don't have the time and or don't want to be giving the time at that moment. You're wanting to enjoy what's going on. And I just remember when you were pregnant with Lily and you were getting ready to deliver and you were very clear to me, hey, I'm peacing out. I'll be back, but I'm peacing out. And so you probably want to do that. So how can you do that and keep your business going? And that's probably all wrapping around in your head. Might I add and just brag on you just for a moment? Your production is awesome for a month that you don't really want to.
So here's the thing.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Joy. And here's the thing I have to like tell you guys, when I say I resent my business, the reason I tear up is because I have no reason to resent my business. I have friends who had to step down as directors because they've been struggling with production. And since I moved here, production has not been a thing. Production was a thing in California. Since I moved here, production's not a thing. And I never, ever wake up or have a point in the month where I go, well, I'm not going to hit production. I do question whether I'll hit 10,000, but I don't, it's not like my new base is 10,000, not production. So that's great to live in that space. So when I say I resent my business, I feel guilty for saying that, knowing that my business is in a great place compared, and I know I shouldn't compare, but compared to my friends who are struggling. That's one thing. Joy, you know my heart more than anything, and you know that I tend to give more when I have nothing to give. That is probably one of my worst faults. And I don't know if I get it from my mom. I don't know where I get it from, but I feel like when I'm empty, I feel like if I can just fill somebody else's cup, that'll refill my cup. It's a thing that I do. And I am tapped out in like all fronts. We also got hit by something financially we weren't expecting. We had to struggle with our taxes, like everything kind of wrapped into October. And when I say struggle, it just means we're fighting to get the money back we should get for taking care of somebody else's children for a year. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But it's the little things all wrapped into one. And in the month where I was like, this is my month to buckle down. And it just was too much.
Didn't happen. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But I still stand by what needs to happen here. You need to ground, you need to protest, and there's no reason to feel guilty about your business. It is your business. You are in charge. And if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. Now, you may have to ask for some help from the people on your team. You may have to say, look, gals, women, I love you, and I'm pregnant, and I'm in a spin, and I need your help. Will you help me? And women love to be asked to help. They love it. There's no one in your team that's going to say no to you, Amanda.
Well, that was me Monday. That was my meeting Monday. My meeting that I had training and all of this planned was literally me coming to the table and saying, your leader needs you back. Like, I can't do this on my own. And the thing is, Joy, I know Joy mentioned like I might need to do what I did the first pregnancy. And I remember things, Joy, you and I just remember things. I remember my side, and you remember what came out of it. But I remember going into my pregnancy with Lily full on like Mary Kay is going to be my full time. It wasn't until she came out that I was like, nope, sorry, precious baby. I am not doing anything outside of this baby for at least 6 months. And I remember telling you that. And then the financial, aspect of that hit. But this time is different. And this is where I'm feeling guilty, Pat, is I don't want to shut down another quarter not hitting Cadillac because I'm tired of it. Like, I'm tired of not hitting that goal. And I think the hard part is the reason I'm resentful is because I want so bad to put my business in a place that's going to take care of me for January, February, and March on a maternity leave per se. When we get to Cadillac, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy, but 100 people makes it easier than my 70. You know what I mean? Or my 65. And so I know I need to be recruiting, and the company gave us a gift in recruiting. And for some reason, my feet are in the cement.
Okay. So here's the homework. I want you to protest, and I mean protest. Go in your bathroom and let it rip. Okay. After you do that, I want you to have an I choose statement about how you're going to finish the month. And make it for you. I choose to give the gift to Mary Kay in my own way or something, taking care of myself while going out to other women or something and recruiting them. So you got to get this out first. Remember, feel, deal, heal. Okay. We're in the deal stage. You're dealing with it. You're in the feel stage. You're feeling all these things. We got to deal with it, which means you got to get grounded. You got to get some of that excess, whatever, out. I hate this. I hate having all these things to do. I want no, 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 you know? And then you come back in your way, in your time, and you pace, and you do it, and you give less, and you see if they make up the gap. Are you good?
I'm good. I'm good. And it feels good to just get it out. I think part of
I'm sure.
the emotion is, I sat in this interview, and I think this person I interviewed, we're so similar. When you come from the background where many people would use that as a victim and we're victors, I just don't roll over and say, everything's good, so for me, it's like the frustration comes with, you're going to get over this. You're going to come out okay. It just sucks right now. It's sticky.
Okay.
And I need a protest. I need a protest to somebody other than my husband, because the poor guy is like a boxing bag, and I shouldn't make him my boxing. I don't literally hit him. Please no, I will never hit my husband.
Good.
But
well, go in the bathroom, close the door, tell him, alert everyone, get the dogs. So yeah, I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to put it at you. I'm going to just shake my fist, look in the mirror, and tell everything off about the circumstance. Okay.
that's usually where, I told you guys I did this before. When I get to this point, I go running, and I literally sound like a crazy person when I run, because I'm screaming while I'm running, because that's me. That's how I get it out. I get the energy out through the running, and then I get the vocal out in the middle of nowhere where I think nobody can hear me, but there's still people around. And I just don't feel like I have that release point, that place to do that. So
Your car, when it's not moving.
it's always moving. No. Yeah. Got it.
Man, you're playing yes, but with me. Come on.
I know. I just need to find a spot to just get it out. And
How about I am, or I will, or I will find a spot.
I will find a spot. I am finding a spot. I am
Good.
getting it out.
Yay, yay. You got it out. You got it out here, All right, who's with Amanda? Let's share some things to Amanda here today.
So,
Oh, come
Amanda, I have to tell you, I've become a master protester.
Yay, Chris.
Because Pat called me out a couple weeks ago, and I kind of got like a little like, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm fine. You know how we do that, but
You are fine.
Well, I am fine, but I just mean like, I was not receiving it because I didn't think that I didn't think I was doing that. Like, I didn't think that I was pushing it in. But one of the things that amazes me about you, Amanda, is your strength and your ability to handle. I mean, just the foster thing in itself for a lot of people is what they don't even have enough to deal with that. So I'm just saying, because there's a lot that goes into that. And so I would just also encourage you, because one of the things that I realized was not letting it out was causing me to stay in that place, which then meant that I wasn't healing from it. And so then I couldn't change. And not that it's flipped and changed overnight, because it hasn't, but because it takes time. I'm 57 today, so 50 years.
Happy birthday. What's the
Thank you.
birthday?
In the same
Happy
place.
birthday, Chris.
Happy birthday to you.
It's
Happy
hard
birthday
to change
to
that.
you.
But I think also I would encourage you to think that it may not be, because I was where you were in the summer because of everything that was happening emotionally with me. And what I've realized through the protesting in the last few weeks is it wasn't necessarily resentment towards the business, but Pat said it earlier, we sell energy. I was tapped out. And that was the one place that I felt like I could release, was my business. And so it was more of a resentment feeling because I felt like I could there, but couldn't other places, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So I think giving yourself that permission to find that place, since you haven't been able to do it with your running. I have mirrored closet doors in all of our rooms, and I've been doing it in the bedroom. Like, I didn't even realize that, like, I bottle some of that up with my husband. Like the other day, he just irritated the crap out of me. You know, the people we love the most sometimes irritate us the most. I'm just saying.
No question.
Right.
No.
And I just, after the conversation, I was just like, I protested. And I was like, man, I like feel so good now. Like,
Chris.
because I wasn't carrying that around. So I think it's that energy level that maybe is what's just your tank is empty. And so it's, you know, I don't know if any of this is resonating, but sometimes we look and we say, I'm resenting my business, and it, because that's might be the one place you feel like you can get irritated and angry, because with the foster stuff, it's like you've got to just balance it because you're under a microscope, right? Like, can't freak out there, but you can freak out because, geez, oh Pete, I can't even imagine all the emotions that you deal with that. It would be really hard. So just whatever you can do to do the protesting and giving yourself, I think it's going to just make you feel so much better, released, and more in control, because we try to do so much and I'm just going to power through. I'm just going to power through because I got to get onto this thing and onto that thing and onto the next thing. And you don't have anything to give. Right. I don't know. That's just what I've realized. And I think maybe dealing with some
Well,
of that.
congratulations, Chris. Truly, I'm proud of you. Good for you. Because you were resistant for quite a while, you know. I had to chew on you a little bit about that.
Yeah.
It's actually fun too, because you do get a surge of energy. So
well, it's such a release. I mean, at the end, you're just like, whoa, like, I didn't know I could feel so good after that.
yeah. I don't know if I told you all this, but you know, talking about this with groups, sometimes I would have them put up their arms like this, like 500 women, and go, get off my back. And the room would rock, you know, I mean, in a hotel. And sometimes, you know, the manager would come in and go, what the heck are you doing? But yeah, it releases energy. Big hugs to you, Amanda. You're going to get through it. You are. We're with you. We are definitely with you.
Thank you.
Let me just check in with Maria here. It's been quiet through the whole time. What do you think, Maria?
Well, I wanted to love on Amanda too, because you are amazing and you're very aware of your behavior and what you're doing. And in what you're saying, I wrote a big thing down, was like, stop doing the external and get yourself filled internally first. And I feel a similar pattern with the mom life and just the running around, to just, it's okay to say no and not do it all, but sometimes I feel like you just have to stop to assess. So one thing I want to share is that, like, I have this vision board that I bought and I have no pictures on it, and I have not stopped to do it. And so I was like, I better tell this group for some accountability, because the thing is, I know what I need to do. And it's almost like, Amanda, you know how you want to enjoy your pregnancy. You were very clear when we met for dinner, very clear about how you want to just revel and sit and look at your belly and experience being pregnant. You had thought about it. You had complete clarity on how you wanted to just sit in the pregnancy. And I think when our company gives us a blessing of double credit and the starter kit, I also had to just stop myself and be like, it's an incredible opportunity anyway. I'm not going to put extra pressure on myself or start chasing after something else because I started changing my goal again instead of being intentional on the one thing that I want to do. And then I was like, well, I could do this or have this promotion or sell all this product to max out double credit. Like I just had to stop and be like, this is a shiny rabbit. The big picture of what we're doing is we're building people. We're building women, and that conversation, whether she signed up or not, added value to her life. And at the end of the day, whether she said yes or no, your time with her added value to her life. And
Nice.
we just have to get, for me too, I just have to stop. And I wrote all these notes like internal, external. I'm like, coffee is external, although sometimes I totally like, let me have some caffeine so I can have the energy.
Okay. Yeah, I just gotta think of Deb Weir. She wants me to get on.
Okay.
So, congratulations, Maria. That's really good. I'm
And
glad.
just you guys harass me all week. Like, did you do your vision board? I just need some accountability. And I promise you next week, I will show you a photo.
Okay. All right. Good.
Okay.
Good. We'll hold you accountable because we
Okay.
care and we want you to have it. But here's the deal. You gotta watch the shiny object stuff. Okay. Because it's a rabbiting. And if you're already
Rabbiting.
chaotic in your head and there's a little shiny object, it's that, and your seniors give it to you, your nationals give it to you, your Mary Kay gives it to you. Yes. And what you said, Maria, is the truth. I'm here to build relationships. Okay. Building relationships. That's the deal. All right. So shiny object, it'll come back around. They'll do it again. It's not the end of shiny objects, believe me. And so, be kind to yourself. Have grace.
Okay.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.